Hello and welcome to today's video. I am Carmen Chloe, creator of the Single Married Widow Tribe, certified life coach. I help widows to grieve, heal, and to live after the loss of their husband. In today's video, we're going to be talking about my husband died, now what? You find yourself suddenly widowed and it's like, okay, my husband died on me, now what? Like, what do I do? What do I do besides curl up in a ball, cry, and just do nothing? Okay, so initially my journey, and I don't like to generalize or talk about how everyone feels or how every widow feels, because I understand that we're all individuals. Our relationships were unique, so I really don't know how another widow feels when their husband suddenly dies, because I don't know the intricacies of the relationship. But for me, initially I was stuck, I was bewildered, I was dazed, I was confused. I was like, is this really my life? I remember waking up maybe for like a week straight, and every morning I would wake up thinking, oh, it was just a bad dream. And then when I would realize, like, no, it wasn't a bad dream. Like, Zachariah died. He's not here. He's not here with me and these girls. And I would wake up in the morning and I would look over and I would see my two babies laying there, and the reality would sink in and the tears would begin to flow, and I would just have that feeling. I think we all know what that feeling feels like when your spouse dies, when someone dies and you wake up the following mornings after and you realize it wasn't a dream. But for you to wake up and realize the person who died was your spouse and it wasn't a dream, it's like this feeling, like this void, this heaviness that you feel. And I would wake up and I would have that feeling every morning for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, until it finally sunk in, like, he's gone for real, like, and he's not coming back. So my tips to you who's watching this video, you find yourself widowed and you're in that state of being stuck, bewildered, dazed, confused, that repetitive cycle of like waking up, like in the movie Groundhog Day, where you wake up and it's like you're repeating the same day over and over again, like, oh, I had a dream that he died last night, and then you're like, oh, but wait a minute, it wasn't a dream. Like, waking up, going through that repetitive cycle. So my tips or my advice to you, number one is to breathe. Try to breathe. As much as you may be holding your breath through the moments because you don't want to breathe in the reality of what's going on, you have to breathe. Take some time to be still. And it may hurt to sit still, because it hurt me so bad when I had to actually sit down and be still and sit in that grief. But I needed that time so that I could actually grieve and feel all of the emotions that I just simply didn't have time to feel in the beginning, because my children and I went through such major transitions right after my husband passed away. But that's important to breathe and to be still. The second tip that I would tell you from my perspective and just looking back is to check and evaluate your support circle immediately. Make sure you have people around you that you can trust 100%. Make sure that you have people around you that you can delegate responsibilities to, delegate things that you just can't really do at the moment. Make sure you have people around you that can genuinely help, people that don't have to ask you a million times, what do you need? Tell me what you need. People that are just going to take charge, and they're going to, go out and they're going to get the food. Make sure you and the children have eaten. Make sure, they're handling phone calls, screening phone calls, things like that. Number three, life is going to feel like a dream initially. Like I said, you're going to go through this cycle of like waking up for mornings on end just feeling like it was all a dream. It's going to feel like that for a while. It's going to feel like that initially, and just embrace it. And then don't feel obligated to anything or to anyone. Like, don't feel obligated to have to talk on the phone with people. Don't feel obligated to have to like send out thank you cards for people sending stuff right away. Don't feel obligated to anything or anyone, because you literally have gone through a life-changing event that has literally like altered the state of your mind. So you're not even the same person. So don't feel obligated to anything or anyone except for yourself, and just doing what you can in each moment to keep your sanity and to walk the journey that you have ahead. And then my last tip for you is to try and prepare yourself for the journey of laying your husband to rest, because that's a whole situation within itself. I remember before we left the hospital having this huge pressure of like, okay, now we have to plan a funeral. Now we have to figure out who's going to come and pick up his body after the autopsy is done, because as soon as they finish, they're going to want to know, like, okay, who's coming to pick up his body. And it was like I haven't even really resonated or received the fact that he's not here yet, and I'm already feeling anxious and pressured having to think about a funeral, planning a funeral. So those are my tips for women who suddenly find themselves widowed and they're like, okay, I've gotten over the initial shock and now I'm like, okay, what now? Those are my tips. Make sure you have your notifications on. I'm going to be dropping new content. Make sure you're subscribed to our YouTube channel, and also click the link in the bio or the description section so that you can become a part of the free VIP Single Married Widow Tribe and take the free healing challenge. I'll see you on the next video. Peace.